Okay, I wanted to share some information with you about the rods and reels and the cases that Teresa and I have used that we've over the years we've found out, and most of the guys I fish with Shimano reels, and I were using other reels before they made me aware of just how good Shimano reels are and the ball bearings that they have in them. So we're using every one of our reels is Shimano. This is a Spyrex 2500. It's good for 6-pound to 8-pound test line on it. And what we like about them, some of the features, that has a trigger right here. It comes around, it always stops at the top. You grab your line on that trigger and you pull, and then you're ready to cast. When you cast, it closes the bail, and then when you back it, the trigger is always right there. And your drag is here on the back. I've heard the newer ones don't have the rear drag now. The drag is up front, and then they do fold apart. You loosen that screw up and the handle folds down. But this is the 2500 series, and as this one is here, or you can use a 2000 series. Anywhere it's 2000 to 2500 is what we use. Spyrex happens to be what these three are right here. On the reels we use this high visibility gold monofilament. It's made by Stren, S-T-R-E-N, Stren. You can see the line when it's in the water, especially on your bobber pole and your jig pole, and be able to tell where it's at. So we use that line extensively. It's been very good line. It's very strong line, and that's what we recommend that you try. As far as the rods go, we've pretty much settled in on Shakespeare ugly sticks. We broke too many tips off, and now we found out this one happens to be a 7-footer. You can see how flexible the end of it is. This is what I use on my jig pole, so I can feel the bite on the end of the line out there. And this one here is a little bit shorter, what I use on a bobber pole. This is a 6-foot pole, and this is medium action, and it goes 6 to 15-pound line. And this one is a little stiffer pole for your bobber pole. When that bobber goes down, you want to be able to set the hook, and you can use a little stiffer pole. Now, one thing about these two, using these ugly sticks, they come apart, and it's then much easier than in a rod case, because some poles you use don't come apart, and you have to use these big long rod cases like this, which you can use if you got a pickup truck or something to carry them in to get them here. We can do it. We can put them on the trailer and get them up there. But if your rods come apart, you get a rod case like this, and they just slide right in. You can put maybe 3-4 rods come apart in there and zip it up, and you're ready to go. Now we take our reels off and fold the handles in like that, and then we wrap them in a rag, in a towel, because you want fish towels in the boat, something to wipe your hands off on, or when your hands get wet in that. We wrap them up, and then we put them in this little cooler. And for storage, we can get 4 reels in there to take it up there. Then you also have this cooler in your boat for if you want to take some cold refreshments out during the day. You've got this little cooler to take, and it's a good place to protect your reels, to get them up so they're not damaged during the loading of the plane and on off the plane. So that's pretty much what we're going to be using. So that's 2 poles apiece, a bobber pole and a jig pole per person, so that we'll get you set up. Now my last video is going to show you about your tackle box, what you need to have in your tackle box as far as bait, and how we're going to rig up these poles. We caught over 2,000 walleye up at this lake we're going to here about a month ago. It's just one of the most premier fishing lakes in Canada for walleye. I don't know if we're going to catch 2,000 this trip. We'll probably shoot for 1,000. I wouldn't be surprised if we kept count. You get 1,000 walleye we're going to catch this time. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to show you how to fish with jig poles and how to fish with the bobber poles. We don't do any trolling. All we do is anchor the boat in 10 to 20 foot of water, and we cast up by shore or directly down underneath the boat with jigs. I'm going to show you all that in the last video. So let's keep her going. Walleye, walleye.